Hey guys, this is Chris from AndroidPIT.com and we're here today with the HTC One M9. Now, as you can see straight up, it looks an awful lot like the HTC One M8. So no major design changes here. You can see up front, we've got the familiar boom sound front-facing speakers with Dolby Audio. So you get kind of like a 3D surround effect. We've also got an ultra-pixel camera up front as well. Now, looking at the screen, it's very familiar. It's the same 5-inch Full HD LCD display you would have seen on the M8 as well. And of course, unfortunately, the continuation of the logo bezel at the bottom with HTC there. It's a shame that's still there. But anyway, flipping it over on the back, you can see big difference, of course, is there is no longer a duo camera. Previously, we had a 4 ultra pixel duo camera. Now we have a 20 megapixel regular camera with a square lens and surrounded by plastic with sapphire crystal glass. Now that's actually good for two reasons. One is it means when you put the phone on the table, it doesn't rock from side to side, but it also means that it's very scratch resistant. Now up the top, you can see we've got another carry-on from the M8 with the IR blaster. There's also a remote control app preloaded for that as well, so you can control your TV. Moving on to the right side, you can see we've got a volume rocker separated with a power button at the bottom, and up the top there a micro SD card slot. The SIM is obviously on the left hand side with nothing else there. The power button is actually textured as well, so it makes it a little bit easier to distinguish by touch alone. Now, you can also see the design has changed a little bit on the sides as well. There's now this kind of two-layered thing where it's all an aluminum unibody, but we've kind of got the front section, which is a little bit smaller than the back section. So it kind of looks like it's sitting inside the back tray. It's kind of interesting. It's one of the most significant design changes between the two versions. Now, the HTC One M9 is running Android 5.0.2 with, of course, HTC's Sense 7 interface. Now, there's a couple of new cool features, some of which we'll go into in a little bit more detail in other videos. Going into the app drawer, you can see things are a little bit more colorful. There's a little bit of a material design overhaul. You can see we do have the familiar lollipop quick settings, of course, and on the side there, you can see the 3 dots that will take you to the submenu for each of the quick setting toggles. Up the top, of course, we still have the quick access to the regular settings menu as well. Now, in settings, one of the best new features is a section called Personalize. Personalize gives you a whole bunch of new features for customizing your M9 however you like. One of which is the software buttons, which we saw on the front there before. So you can customize them to have 3 or 4 buttons in whichever variation that you want. Another cool thing for personalizing the M9 is a new HTC theme engine. So straight off the bat, there's a whole bunch of themes that you can load straight off the web, and there will be more, of course, in the near future, and you can set your own as well. So you can customize or tweak your own themes, as well as use an automatic themer that will take elements of an image or a background that you set and automatically apply colors and things like that to your interface. Now, in the camera, we've basically got the software from the Desire Eye, if you saw that video from the end of last year. Of course, there's no more ultra pixels on the back camera either, so that's one of the biggest differences, I think, with the M9. A lot of people will be happy to see the end of ultra pixels. It's got all the usual settings that you would know, like panorama, that kind of thing. Nothing too exciting there, other than the shift to traditional megapixels. One other cool option on the front here is this adaptive widget. It's location specific, so if you're at the office, you'll obviously see apps popped up that relate to your office work, so email, calendar, utility apps like that. When you're at home, of course, you'll get different things like YouTube and your music player and so on. It's kind of cool and very similar to the AV8 launcher if you're familiar with that. Now, the HTC One M9 will launch on March 31st for around $750 US, but that will of course depend on subsidies and carrier contracts and so on and so forth. So stay tuned, guys. We'll keep you posted with more on the HTC One M9 and more of the devices to see at MWC 2015. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and keep an eye on the website.